She walked away without hesitation, thinking she had it all under control. Maybe she assumed you'd wait around. Maybe she thought she had endless options. Or maybe, at the time, she genuinely believed she wouldn't feel anything after letting you go. But now, she's feeling something she didn't expect. Uncertainty. It starts as just a passing thought, a moment of curiosity. She hears your name in conversation, sees something that reminds her of you, or stumbles across an old picture. And instead of brushing it off like she once did, she pauses. Something about it lingers. At first, she shrugs it off. It's nothing, just a random memory. She convinces herself that she's just reminiscing, that it's normal to think about the past. But as time moves on, the thoughts don't fade. They grow. She finds herself thinking about the way you made her feel, the depth of your conversations, the way you looked at her, the sense of security and presence you had. And that's when something clicks in her mind. This isn't just nostalgia, this is loss. Because no matter how much she tries to ignore it, no matter how many people she surrounds herself with, she feels something is missing. And here's the part she never expected. It's not just about the past. It's not just about what she had with you. It's about what she's realizing she no longer has. She thought she could replace you easily, that if she walked away, she'd find someone better, someone new, someone who could fill the space you once held. But now she knows that's not true, because the reality is, most people aren't like you. Most men don't bring the same energy, the same depth, the same presence. And the more she interacts with others, the clearer it becomes. What she let go of wasn't just a relationship, it was an experience she won't easily find again. She notices it in the little things, conversations that feel shallow, attention that feels meaningless, compliments that don't give her the same rush. And suddenly, she's aware of the contrast. What once felt like an easy decision now feels like a mistake. And here's where the emotions start shifting, from curiosity to something deeper. Regret. It's not immediate. She fights it at first. She tells herself she made the right decision, that she was justified in walking away, that she doesn't need to go back. But the emotions don't fade. They keep creeping in at unexpected moments, filling the quiet spaces of her day. She tries to distract herself, to shake the feeling, but nothing fully replaces the presence she once felt with you. And then the real fear sets in. She asks herself the question she never thought she'd have to ask. What if I can't get him back? Because for the first time, you're no longer a guarantee. Before, she always assumed you'd be there. She assumed that if she ever changed her mind, she could reach out and you'd respond. But now she's not so sure. And that doubt, that's what shifts everything. Because now she's not just missing you, she's realizing she might have lost something she'll never find again. And that's the moment she knows she needs you back. The moment she feels powerless to change it. She never thought she'd be in this position, wanting someone back who might not want her anymore. That realization alone is enough to shake her confidence. She always assumed she had control. She believed that if she ever had second thoughts, you'd still be there, waiting for her, ready to pick up right where things left off. That's how it's always been for her. Guys don't just move on from her. They wait, they hope, they leave the door open. But you're different. She didn't expect to feel this way. She thought the memories would fade. She thought time would work in her favor. But instead, time has only made things worse. Because instead of disappearing from her thoughts, you're becoming more present. Instead of feeling relieved that she let go, she's starting to feel the weight of that choice. And now she's stuck in a position she never thought she'd be in. She wants to come back, but she doesn't know if she can. At first, She tests the waters. She won't be direct. Her pride won't allow it. Instead, she'll find small, indirect ways to see if she still has access to you. A random like on an old post. A comment that seems innocent, but is actually bait. A message that doesn't say much, but is designed to check if you'll take the conversation further. She's not reaching out because she just wants to chat. She's reaching out to see if you're still emotionally available. But here's where it gets interesting. What happens when you don't respond the way she expects? She thought all it would take was one small effort on her part, and you'd come running back. That's how most guys react. But when she doesn't get the reaction she was hoping for, when she sees that you're not waiting, that you're not trying to reopen old doors, panic starts to set in. Because now, she's experiencing something she never planned for: rejection. And that's a completely new experience for her. She was the one who pulled away, the one who assumed she held all the power. But now, the roles have reversed. She's the one feeling uncertain. She's the one waiting for a response. She's the one second-guessing herself. And the more she feels like she doesn't have control over you anymore, the more she starts craving what she once took for granted. But there's something even worse than rejection. The realization that she might not even get the chance to fix things. That maybe, just maybe, she lost you for good. And the moment that reality hits, that's when she stops playing games. That's when she truly starts chasing the desperation that comes when she realizes you've changed. She always assumed the door would be open, that no matter how far she distanced herself, no matter how long she stayed away, no matter what choices she made, you'd still be there. That was the foundation of her confidence when she walked away. She believed she had time. She believed she could figure things out at her own pace. But now, time isn't working in her favor. At first, she tried to ignore it. She told herself that missing you was just a passing emotion, something that would fade. But the longer she fights it, the stronger it becomes. And what's worse, she's realizing you're not the same man anymore. The version of you she left behind, the one who was always available, always willing to compromise, always there at her convenience. That man no longer exists. She thought that if she ever changed her mind, all it would take was a simple message, a small gesture, just a little effort to pull you back in. But now, she's realizing something she never expected. You're not reacting the way you used to. You're not rushing to reply. You're not eager to rebuild the connection. You're not making it easy for her to slide back into your life. And that terrifies her. Because now, the fear that was just a whisper in the back of her mind, the fear of losing you completely, is becoming impossible to ignore. She starts searching for signs that she still has a chance. She looks for proof that you're still thinking about her. She watches your social media, hoping to find some kind of clue. She pays attention to the way you respond, if you respond at all. But the more she looks, the more unsettled she becomes. Because instead of seeing a man who's waiting for her, she sees a man who no longer needs her. You're different now. Your energy has shifted. You're no longer looking at her as the prize. You've become the prize yourself. And for the first time, she's realizing that she might have lost you to your own growth. And that thought, it shakes her to the core. She's used to men chasing. She's used to being the one who decides how things play out. But this is completely new territory. Because now, she's the one feeling powerless. She has two choices. She can let go and try to convince herself that she never cared that much in the first place, or she can do the one thing she swore she'd never do. She can chase you, not because she wants to, but because now she feels like she has to. Because the idea of you moving on without her, the idea of another woman getting the version of you that she took for granted, That's something she can't accept. And now, for the first time, she's the one feeling the urgency. She's the one overthinking. She's the one wondering if she still has a chance or if she's already too late. The urgency pushes her into action. The weight of losing you isn't just a passing thought anymore, it's something she feels in her chest. It lingers in the quiet moments, creeping up when she's alone, when there's nothing left to distract her. She told herself she had time. She thought she could return whenever she wanted, that you'd still be standing in the same place, waiting, hoping, ready to pick up where she left you. But that assumption, it's completely shattered now. She doesn't just miss you, she feels like she's losing control of the situation. And when a woman feels like she's no longer in control, when she realizes that someone she thought was hers is slipping away, everything changes. The doubt that was once just a whisper in the back of her mind is now a storm she can't ignore. She's not just thinking about you occasionally. Now she's checking her phone a little too often, hoping to see your name. Now she's hesitating before posting on social media, wondering if you'll notice. Now she's reading back through old conversations, looking for clues about what changed. And each time she sees that you're not reacting the way she expected, the panic builds. Because now, she's the one who feels like she has something to prove. Before, she believed her presence alone was enough. She assumed that no matter what, you'd always feel lucky to have her. But now, for the first time, she's realizing that she's the one who has to work to earn back what she lost. And that realization, it's crushing. Because she doesn't just want to reconnect. She needs to know she still matters to you. But here's the part that truly shakes her. She's not sure if she does anymore. She tries to test the waters. A random message disguised as casual, a subtle reaction to your social media, a comment about an inside joke only you would understand. She's looking for any sign that you still feel something, that you still care, that you're still emotionally invested. But if you don't give her that reassurance right away, the anxiety reaches its peak. Now she's second-guessing everything. What if you've moved on? What if she really lost you? She starts thinking about the possibility of you with someone else. The idea that another woman could be experiencing the version of you that she took for granted. And that thought, it drives her insane. Because now, it's no longer just about missing you. Now, it's about needing to know that she still has a place in your life. She won't come out and say it. She won't admit it openly. Her pride is still fighting her emotions. But inside, she's feeling something she never expected. Fear. Fear that she misjudged you. Fear that she waited too long. Fear that she's already too late. And that fear, it's exactly what makes her take action. She's no longer reaching out just to say hello. She's no longer casually checking in. Now she's actively trying to reinsert herself into your life. Because the idea of you being truly gone, that's a reality she can't accept. The breaking point, when she knows she has to fight for you. The fear has settled in. It's no longer just a passing concern or a nagging thought in the back of her mind. It's real. She tried to ignore it. She tried convincing herself that she was fine, that she didn't need to come back, that you were just another guy who passed through her life. But now, every attempt at denial feels like a lie. She told herself she had options, but the truth is, none of them compare to you. She told herself you were replaceable, but the reality is, no one has made her feel the way you did. And now she knows she can't keep waiting, because the longer she hesitates, the stronger the possibility becomes that she's already lost her chance. This is the moment when her emotions override her pride. And that's when she does something she never thought she'd do. She actually starts putting in effort. not in the subtle passive way she tried before. Now, she's intentional. She starts sending longer messages, trying to restart deeper conversations. She asks about your life, hoping to reconnect in a way that feels meaningful. She brings up old memories, trying to spark emotions in you that she hopes still exist. But deep down, she's terrified. Because what if you don't respond the way she wants? What if you've changed so much that the things she once had control over no longer work? What if instead of pulling you back in, all she's doing is confirming that she lost you? That fear pushes her even harder. Now she's not just testing you, she's pursuing you. She makes excuses to see you. She finds ways to place herself in your orbit. She asks deeper, more personal questions, hoping to gauge where your feelings really stand. Because now, she's the one seeking clarity. She needs to know if there's still something there. She needs to know if she still has a chance. She needs to know if she can undo the mistake she made. But here's where things get even more interesting. Now, you're the one who gets to decide. Before, she controlled the situation. She dictated the pace. She was the one pulling away, leaving you to wonder what went wrong. Now she's the one overanalyzing your responses. She's the one second-guessing her choices. She's the one hoping she can fix things. And this is where your power is fully restored. Because the question is no longer about whether she wants you back. The real question is, do you still want her? And the moment she realizes that it's not up to her anymore, that's the moment she knows she's not just trying to get you back. She's fighting to earn you again. The reality she never expected. She started this journey thinking she was in control. She believed she could pull away, take her time, and return whenever she felt like it. But now, the situation is entirely different. You're no longer waiting. You're no longer chasing. And most importantly, you're no longer the man she walked away from. This is the moment when it finally sinks in. She thought she could come back whenever she wanted. But now she's realizing that you might not even want her back, and that's what scares her the most. It's not just about missing you anymore. It's about the fact that she has no idea if she still has a place in your life. She went from being the one with all the power to feeling like she's already lost. And that's when she truly feels the regret. Because this isn't just about a momentary emotion. This is about losing something she didn't fully appreciate until it was gone. She may try harder. She may reach out again. She may even openly admit that she made a mistake. But now, the decision isn't hers anymore. Now it's up to you. And that's when she realizes the truth. She never had control over you, she just had access. And now, she has to face the harshest reality of all. She may never get it back. If this opened your eyes, watch the next video on your screen. Because the moment you understand this, everything changes.